everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Dre White. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please, if this is the first time you're checking on my channel, kindly hit on that subscribe button and turn on notification bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. Thank you. So in today's video, we are going to be learning how to draft a basic bodice for you to have a perfect fit. So this particular video is quite different from the basic bodice I posted some time ago. With this particular video I'm going to be doing today, you are going to have a perfect fit. It's going to show you all you need to know about a basic body in order for you to arrive at a perfect fit when you make your top. So the first thing we're going to do is to get our box prepared. So I already have my box here. So this part is going to serve as the front. This is the front block and this is the back block of our pattern. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to be drafting the front pattern first. Now I've drawn out my line. This line here serves as the top line or the shoulder line. So this is the top line or the shoulder line. So the first thing we are going to do, we're going to be taking the shoulder measurement. So the shoulder I'm working with is 15 inches. So I'm going to place my tape here. So 15 divided by 2 will give us 7.5. So I'll come over here. I'm going to take 7.5. So after taking the 7.5 on this front pattern, I'm going to be coming down with 1.5. After coming down with 1.5, the next thing I'm going to do, we are going to get our chest line. So to get the chest line, you are going to be dividing bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So I've done that already, and what I arrived at is 8.25. So from this 1.5, I'm going to be taking the 8.25 here. So what I have from the top line to this 8.25, I'm going to measure it, and whatever I have is what I will be taking here. So what I have here is 9.6. So I'll put down the 9.6 here. I will come over to this other side and put down the 9.6. Then the next thing I will do is to connect what I have here. So after connecting it, I'm going to be taking the shoulder measurement. What I took here was 7.5. So I will come over to this chest line. This is the chest line. I'll be taking the same 7.5. Now I'll be connecting what I have here. So after connecting it, the next measurement we're going to be taking is the shoulder to the bust point. So from this shoulder to the bust point, what I have is 12 inches. So this is the 12 inches. So after connecting it, the next measurement I'm going to be taking is the shoulder to the half length. So the shoulder to the half length I'm working with, that is the waist measurement. Shoulder to the waist is 18 inches. From this half length, this waist line here, I'm going to come down with 9 inches. So now we're going to label what we have. So this is the chest line. This is the bust point. This is the waistline. And this is the hip line. So the neck width I'm going to be using is 3.3. I'm going to be using the standard of 3.3 for the neck width and the neck depth. I'm going to be taking the shoulder slope, this 1.5. I'll be connecting it to this neck width here. I'm going to place my tape this way from this shoulder slope to the chest line. So whatever I have, I am going to divide it into 2. Now I'm going to be coming in with 0.75. So this is what I'm going to do. I'll connect it this way. Then I'm going to be taking it to the shoulder slope. So after doing that, the next measurement we're going to be taking is the bust measurement. So the bust I am working with is 40 inches. So 40 divided by 4 will give us 10 inches. So the next thing I will do, I will come over to the waistline. So the waist I am working with is 34 inches. So 34 divided by 4 will give us 8.5. So this is 8.5. So the next measurement I'll be taking is the hip measurement. So let me explain something here. Concerning this hip measurement, I'm going to be taking using the front hip and the back hip. So the hip I am working with is 44 inches. So for the front hip is 20 inches. So while the back hip is 24 inches. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. The front hip, the total hip circumference is 44. But I'm going to be dividing the hip measurement. I'm using front hip and back hip. So the front hip is 20 inches and the back hip is 24 inches. So if you add both together, it makes up what? 44 inches. So this is what I am going to do. I'm going to be using the front hip, which is 20 inches. So this 20 inches, I'm going to be dividing it into 2. That will make it what? 10 inches. So I'm going to place my tape here. For the front hip, I'll be taking 10 inches. So now after taking the 10 inches, I'm going to connect what I have. So now I'll be connecting from this hip to the waistline. From the waistline, I'll be connecting to the chest line. So now after connecting it, I'm going to get my curve and what? Connect this armhole that we have here. The next thing I'm going to do, I will come over to the back. I'm going to leave this way for now. Let's focus on the back. We will still come back to the front pattern. So let's work with the back. So now for the back, I am going to be taking the shoulder measurements. So the shoulder I'm working with is 15 inches like I said earlier. So now I'm going to be taking the same 7.5 I took for the front. After taking the 7.5, I am going to come down with 1.25. So now I'll just measure what I have here and take the same measurement here. So at this point, I am going to connect what I have. So after connecting it, I'm going to be taking the shoulder measurement, which is the 7.5 on this chest line. Then I will connect it upward. So now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be taking the neck width. So the neck width for the back is still the same as the neck width for the front, which is the 3 inches. Then I'm going to come down with 1 inch. After coming down with 1 inch, I'm going to connect what I have with my curve. So at this point, I'll be connecting the shoulder slope. So now we are going to measure what we have here. Whatever we have here, we are going to be dividing it into 2. So after dividing it into 2, I'm going to come in with 0.5. So this is the 0.5. Then the next thing I will do is to connect what I have here and take it back to the shoulder slope. The next thing we are going to be doing is to take the bust measurement. So the bust I am working with, like I said, is 40 inches. So 40 divided by 4 will give us 10 inches. So this is the 10 inches. Now we're going to be taking the back waistline. So remember, the front and the back is not the same. So the difference between the front and the back is 2 inches. So now from the shoulder, I'm going to be taking 16 inches. So here is the 16 inches. I will come over here and put down the same 16 inches. So after doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is to come down with 9 inches. I did this for the front. I will still be doing it for the back. So this is the chest line. This is the waistline. And this is the hip line. So the waist measurement I am working with is 34 inches, which is 8.5. 8.5. So but before I take the 8.5, I'm going to be coming in with 0.5 on this waistline. This is to contour the back waistline. So I'll put down 0.5 here. Then after doing that, from this point I am going to take the waist measurement, which is the 34 inches. So this is 34 inches. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to take the hip measurement. So remember I said the back hip is 24 inches. So 24 divided by 2 will give us 12 inches. So this is 12 inches. Now I'm going to connect what I have here. Then I will take it up to the chest line. So after taking it up, I will connect the armhole here. So guys, this is what we have for our basic bodice. We have not added that yet, but it's already what taking shape. So the next thing we're going to do is to impute our dart. And in imputing our dart, we're going to be using our bust pan, that is between nipple to nipple. So the bust pan I'm working with is 8 inches. So I'm going to be dividing the 8 inches into 2. So 8 inches divided by 2 will give us 4 inches. So I will put down the 4 inches here. Then the next thing I will do, I will come over here from this waistline. I'm going to be coming down with 6 inches. 6 inches. This is the end point of our dart. So from this 6 inches here, I'm still going to take the 4 inches. 4 inches. So now I will come up to this other side. From this bust point, I will come down with 1 inch. This is the 1 inch. Then I will take my dart here, the 4 inches. From this 1 inch I came down with. Then I'm going to connect what I have. So that is for the front. For the back, I'm going to do the same thing for the back. I'm going to be taking 4 inches for the dart. This is the 4 inches for the dart. I'm going to come down from this back waistline. I'm coming down with 6 inches. I'm taking the same figure, 6 inches. Then I will do what? Take the same 4 inches I took for the front. Then for the back, I'm going to take the same 6 inches upward. Then the bust pan is 4 inches. So now we are going to be imputing our dart 5, 6, 7, 0.75. That's what I'll be using for the dart tightening. So this is for the back. I will come over here and do the same thing. Then I will connect it. So for the front, I'll be taking the same 0.6. This is 0.6 for the dart leg. So now I'm going to connect what I have here. So in order for us to have ease on this pattern, you know we have taken already from our pattern, and what we took was 0.6. So now I'm going to be picking one of these darts here. I'm going to be picking one of these darts I took, which is the 0.6. So I'm going to be imputing the 0.6 here. This is the 0.6. And I will come over to the chest line. I'm going to be adding 0.3. This is 0.3 for you to have a little bit of ease on this pattern. So I will come over to the hip line. I'm adding the same 0.3 here. Now I am going to connect it. You can use a broken line if you wish. So I'm just going to connect it upward this way. Then I will take this downward as well. So I'm going to be doing the same thing for the back. I will come over to this chest line. I'm going to be adding 0.3, ease of 0.3. Then on the waistline, I'm going to be taking 0.6. This is 0.6. Then on the hip line, I'll be taking the same 0.3. This is 0.3. So now I'm going to connect it to the waistline. So now at this point, the next thing we are going to do, we're going to be taking our bust darts, because we deducted 2 inches from the back. So what I will do now is I will come over here and do what? Take 2 inches. This is the 2 inches. This 2 inches is not constant. You have to measure, take the measurements. Some can be 1.5, difference of 1.5, or even 1 inch. So what I will do now is I'm going to extend this line upward. Then I will connect it to the bust point. This is the bust point here. So after connecting it to the bust point, I'm going to divide what I have into 2. So this is it. I'll connect it again to this bust point here. Then after connecting it, I am going to come out with 0.5 because we are going to be having a dart here. So I'm going to be coming out with 0.5. So from this 0.5 I came out with, I will connect it back to the chest line. Then I will take this dart leg down to the waist line. So after taking the bust dart, this is what we have. And also for the back, I have tightened the back. Remember what I took here was 1/2 inch, so I took it downward and I came up also to the chest line. That's for the back tightening. So the next thing we are going to do is to take the length of the top I am working with. So the length of this top is 26 inches. So this is 26 inches. I will come over here and take the 26 inches for the top. So after doing that, I am going to connect it. So now what I will do next is I'm going to come up with 1 inch. I want this top to have like a curve there. So I'm coming up with 1 inch. It could be 1 inch or 1.5. And I will curve it to meet the length of this top. Just this way. Can you see it? So for the back, I'm going to be doing the same thing. So since we took 2 inches for the difference between the front and the back, we're going to still be removing the 2 inches from the back so that when you hold these darts together, the front and the back will match up. So now what am I going to do? From the length of this front, I'm going to be removing 2 inches from it. So when I remove 2 inches for the back, I'm going to be having 24 inches. So I'm going to be taking 24 inches for the back of this top. That's because when you hold the bust dart, the side will match up together. So this is the 24 inches. So I'm going to come up also with 1 inch, and I'm going to be curving the side. So from this pattern, we can alter it into a shoulder bustier or into a princess armhole bustier, and even into a corset top. We can alter this pattern into a corset top. So when you sew this top, you're going to have a perfect fit, and it will give you that snatchy effect on the waist when you sew this particular top with this pattern that we have just made here. So guys, this is what we have. So in our next tutorial, I am going to be doing what? Altering this pattern into either a bustier, shoulder bustier, or a princess armhole bustier. So please, if you find this tutorial helpful, don't forget to hit on that subscribe button and do well to turn on your notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. Like and share this video, make your comment. Till we meet again, thank you so much for watching.